Greetings! The following presentation is brought to you by the fine folks at the Minnesota State Fiddlers Association to fulfill their mission to keep the heritage of fiddling alive. My name is Debby Greenblatt, and I'm speaking to you from the auditorium of the Avoca Schoolhouse in Avoca, Nebraska. In just a few minutes, I'm going to head downstairs, and I'm going to teach you a tune that only uses 2 strings. So get your fiddle and bow ready, and I'll meet you downstairs. Bye. This tune actually has 3 sections. The first section is not repeated. The second section is repeated, and the third section is repeated. But for now, I'm going to play the first section, separate bows, very slowly to give you a chance to get into it. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And it goes right into the second section. Let me do that one more time. You'll notice there is just a little bit of repetition here, but not much. 1 and 2 and. So here's that same section again. This time I will use most of the bowings that I think I like to use, although that's a very changeable thing. Here we go with some slurs. 1 and 2 and. One more time, slowly, with those slurs. 1 and 2 and. Now we're going to do the second section, slowly, no slurs, unless I mess up and play them because they're too much fun. I'll do it slowly, and I will do it twice. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Repeating. Now I'll do it again, same speed, with some of the double stops that I like to use because they're too much fun, and some of the slurs. 1 and 2 and. Now we're on to the third section. I will play it slowly. I will play it with the repeats. I will not do any slurs, and I'll try to refrain from playing the double stops. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Here's a little interesting thing you could add to the texture. instead of that, you could go. It's a fun journey. So you would go down bow on the open E, and then place your fourth finger very lightly on the A string, and then slide up to the harmonic. And stop when you get there. That's the catch. You have to stop when you get there, because then it would sound like this. Here it is again. So that's really fun to do. Another thing that's really fun to notice is the little bits of silences that are in this section. For example, it's rest, rest, rest. Let's do that again. Rest, rest, rest. Now, there have been times where I have had students want to just play through the rest, and it just gets swallowed up, and you miss an opportunity to really phrase this thing. If you go, it just lacks a certain dimension. So to make sure that you put the rests in the places, I have encouraged some of my students to blow me a kiss during the eighth rests, so that it would sound like this at a slow tempo. As long as you're doing something in the rest, you know the rest is at least getting a little attention. Some of my students who don't want to blow me a kiss, I just suggest that they spit. Repeating. Now I'm going to just point out a couple of the double stops that I particularly enjoy doing, and I think you might enjoy them too. When you go from that first section right into the second section, it would normally be, but instead I like to do, which would be in the lower voice on the A string, it would be a 3, 3, 3, 2. And then on that E, I like to add a B under the open E. And then an A under those. And then you're back to another third finger on the A string. To a 2, which you keep steady through that whole measure. And even under that E, but just under the E. And then under the E7, under the next second beat of the measure. That works really well. In the third section, here are some double stops I like to use. Under the first note, I would like you to add a third finger on the A string, so you're playing fifths, covering 2 strings with 1 finger, hopefully the third finger. And then under this E, I like to add the C sharp. And under the E, add a B. Same thing. And under that first A, I like to add the E, but then I keep it away, I just play it just the C sharp and then the A and the E. if I did the E all the way through, it's just a little too much. It would be a... But when you just isolate that one spot, gives it a little more shape. Here it is again, slowly, with hopefully all the double stops in the right places. 1 and 2 and... It's really quite a simple little polka. It's really infectious. It's very nice that it has more than 2 sections, makes it a little different. So here it is again. I'm just going to play it and have some fun. I may be doing slurs that you like or not, and that's just the way it goes. Make it your own. Pay attention to the tune, and the tune will tell you what you need. Here I go fast. 1, 2, 1, 2. Once you get comfortable with the tune, you can do lots of things with it. Particularly if your E string is out of tune, don't use it. Use the A and the D because this tune only needs 2 strings. On the other hand, if your E is out of tune, if your A is out of tune, you could always do it on the D and the G. I don't think the tune is happy in this key, but if you were desperate, you certainly could. On the other hand, if you have a C string, and your E and your A and your D are all out of tune, you could conceivably do it with the G and the C. Like I say, I think it's just a little too cumbersome in this key. I'm sure you'll agree, A is the key for this one. I hope you've enjoyed this tune, and I hope you play it often, and I hope it makes you happy. And if you have any questions, just get in touch and I will make up some answers. Bye!